What's good, YouTube? This is Ray Jarrell. So in today's video, I want to show you guys this near close flex mini scheme in Madden 23. So if you enjoy this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So I am inside the West Coast offensive playbook. Again, I'm inside the West Coast offensive playbook. Now, if you're new here, I do current gen and I do next gen. So if you're curious about next gen, make sure you check out my next gen playlist. If you want current gen, make sure you check out my current gen playlist. Now, one thing I do want to say about this is that I actually do have an ebook on current gen for far tight slots. I believe far tight slots is a really great formation. And of course, if you get this, you can complement it with a near close flex. Just in case you're curious about what type of plays far tight slots have. It's a really great offense. Now, the only reason I'm using the Bucks right now because I kind of want to switch up how I do my videos for this particular one. So you don't need any of the hot route chems to make this offense work. So I'm gonna give you some setups that require it to either have slot apprentice. So I'm going to focus on slot apprentice, I should say. So we're going to have some that have slot apprentice. We're going to have some that have just normal setups. So if you want to run this offense where you have slot apprentice, the way I'm going to show you with these setups, all of our slot apprentices are going to happen where Mike Evans is. So if you have a slot apprentice and you want to use this offense like I'm using it, make sure you put your slot apprentice where Mike Evans is, and I'm gonna make sure that I only use him. Now I know I have the Bucks, so I know I have Hot Route Master, but some of you guys might not have Hot Route Master, you know, so I want to make sure this video can be for everybody. All right, now this formation has a lot of great plays, so I'm only gonna take a look at 2 plays. Now that doesn't mean that's all there is in this playbook or in this formation, but I just want to focus on post drag and I want to focus on Texas because those 2 plays can win you a lot of games. Now if you want more, just consider going to my website, allthingsmadden.com. The link is in the description, and you can request for me to do any formation that you'd like inside of Madden 23 and I would do it. So if you want near close flex, you can definitely do it, or whether it's current or next gen. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is come out in post drag. Now for defense, you're most likely going to see some type of heavy set defense, so your 3-4 odds, probably your 3-3-5 Cubs. You're not going to see so much a dime, so much a dollar, you know, so much of those light style defenses. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come out in 3-4 odd, and I'm gonna talk to you about the basics that you'll see. You'll see cover 4 drop, you'll see some cover 3, you'll see some cover 2, and of course you're gonna see all out man blitz. So I'm gonna make sure I mention all that. So I'm gonna put pinch bucko in here because it's just what people do when they come out in 3-4 odd. They're only gonna play a certain amount of defenses. So I'm coming out in cover 4 drop. Just because it's really good base defense, and most people when they run 3-4 odd, they're gonna run cover 4 drop at first to see if you can move the ball. Then they might switch it up, and some people may go man coverage first, then go to cover 4 drop. Cover 4 drop is just in a lot of people's playbooks, if that makes sense. So first and foremost, make sure for personnel you put in a running back at the fullback position so you can utilize the 2 good run plays that's inside of near close flex, which makes this formation pretty dangerous. Okay, now for the first setup, this actually can beat cover 4. All you want to do is take X, put him on a streak. I like to take my running back, put him on a curl, and I like to block my other running back right here. And if you want to, let's say you don't know if they're going to blitz you or something, maybe they're doing a blitz, just go ahead and take your tight end and block them, because this route right here is the only one we need. We need these 3 routes right here, and this R1 route is just to hold the user to make them think that we're not going to try to bomb them deep. Okay, now I kind of was playing around whether I wanted to motion this guy out or not, but I'll go ahead and do both so you can see. So we'll start off right here with motioning him out, and I'll kind of let you see exactly how that plays. So we're gonna go and snap the ball. Again, R1 is just the decoy route. Now what you're gonna be able to notice is that we can actually pass lead it above that safety, but that's only if they do not run into each other. Now sadly, we are talking about EA, so sometimes these guys right here, they do the little thing where they just keep rubbing each other all the way up and down the field. Sadly, that does happen, but in a perfect world where they do not rub, they actually get to go straight across. This route does get over the top because this safety does not recognize it in time. You have the room out here to let this ball go if you can get it out here. If not, it's fine. Yeah, you can tell right there we have the room. And like I said, this route right here is just a dummy route. But these are spies right here, okay? Keep that in mind. These are spies. So if they're playing normal defense, you can actually throw this if the user just wants to vacate and just run and take off and guard that. So it's really nice, and I love that specifically versus cover 4 drop. Okay, so I'll show you one more time just to keep everything consistent. I like showing you guys stuff twice. and we'll go and take a look at some other coverages and everything like that, give you some more setups, because I want to give you as many setups as I can while also letting you understand why I'm giving you the setup, if that makes sense. Because I don't want to just give you setups and be like, go run it. You know, I want you to know why you're about to run what you're about to run. Right there, I got a terrible pass lead, but you get the idea. You just want to make sure you float it out there or bullet it out there to where your guy can go get it. I just got a terrible pass lead, but I'm just going back replay. I want to show you that they don't always bump into each other. Sometimes they go free. When they do, you have a chance just because this guy doesn't react. So you have the chance to lay this out here. I just got to, like I said, I got a bad pass. You tell you kind of break kind of that way. It could have been my fault, but I don't know. It was just a bad pass either way. So yeah, I really love that play versus cover 4 drop. Now moving forward with inside of this play, there's so many things we can do. So I want to talk about slot apprentice, because I did say I wanted to give you a slot apprentice setup. So if you have your slot apprentice where Mike Evans is, there's a lot of different things you can do. So first thing I love to do is you want to take circle, put him on a streak, take X, go ahead and put him on either a crosser or a post, whichever one you want. I personally prefer the crosser. And then you actually want to take R1 and then block him. And I like to take triangle and then put him on a curl. And what we're going to do here is take Mike Evans right here and motion him across. So you can tell exactly what this is. This is just a flood style concept. We're going to read square to triangle. And then lastly, we're going to read X. And we're going to be able to just, you know, dissect every single defense. So this play right there, the play I just showed you, works versus every single coverage in the game. So the reason why it works is just, it's very simple. You can tell it's a flood concept. The streak is going to push back everything. This drag is going to do a great job of getting open, only because of this combination of the streak and the crosser is why its drag's going to get open, because it's going to take a hard flat to guard it. And of course you can tell what's happening. We're going to make the user choose between these two routes, and if they zone drop, then we could throw this drag all night long if they zone drop. Okay, so really love that setup. And I want to show you versus cover 2, because you might wonder, you know, Rel, how does that look versus cover 2? And also you can technically run that setup versus man, but when we talk about man coverage, which we're about to talk about in a second, there's actually a little bit better of a setup that I do like. So again, here goes the same setup. I just want to show you versus cover 2 so you can take a look at it. I don't know why the linebacker went all the way out there. Hopefully I get enough time in the pocket, but Jesus, that's Tom Brady, the person that's about to be in the Hall of Fame, and they just made him sell that kind of throw wide open. That is crazy. I'm sorry, I just had to take a look at this. Look at this. There's literally nobody by him, and they just make him. I know it's Tom Brady, okay, but still, he shouldn't be throwing it like that. But anyways, the good thing about cover 2 is you'll be able to have this just about every single time. It depends on if they let him motion out. If they let him motion out, then a lot of times they'll come back and guard it. But if they make them stay, then this is not going to be open. You'll just take this drag literally every single time. It's a good short down distance drag, and then of course you can tell we're just making that high-low between those two. Now, really love that setup. So as another setup that I like to utilize in the same motion, we could take square, put them on a streak. We could take X, we can still put them on a crosser, right? And so what we can do is we can take circle, put them on a slant, take your running back, put them on a swing. Now, next thing you want to do is take this receiver now and go ahead and motion him over. Now, I'm going to go ahead and base the line and bring him back over there. But essentially, you can tell this is not a, you know, secret setup or something. This is a setup that's really popular, but I'm just showing you how you can utilize it inside of this offense. It's very simple. You're just going to read from slant to drag to crosser. Now, obviously, you'd want to drift out in the pocket and not stand in the pocket like a statue. But again, a very meta setup, if you will, but it's a very good setup still. It works versus every single coverage in the game. Obviously, you have two flats, and then you're going to have two, you know, basically intermediate routes with the deep route pushing back safety. So you can tell even versus cover 4 drop, you can still have this. And I show cover 4 drop because the problem is cover 4 drop is the only one that's going to cover it this tight, because there's nothing forcing this corner to go back, if that makes sense. So that's why this throw is a tough throw. But again, I really love that style of meta setup. Now, this is also with our two receivers to the short side of the field. Now, let's say your receivers are on the wide side, right? So let's say you want another setup, okay? So again, still utilizing the same slot apprentice, okay? What you can do, you can take circle, put them on a streak. You can take X, put them on a corner route. You can take square. You can either put them on a curl, or if you want to keep the drag. So sometimes I do like to keep the same drag running back stop route concept, just to make the user have to think some. And we're going to block our running back. So last thing you want to do is motion this guy out. So this setup right here, Notice how I'm utilizing the same motions. Either I'm motioning this guy out or I'm motioning Mike Evans across. So keep that in mind, okay? You want to make everything look consistent when you're running this near close flex offense. That is really, really important. It has to look consistent with the motions and everything. And it's exactly what it looks like. It's a flood style concept. It's going to work versus every single zone coverage in the game. So what I'm gonna do here is go to cover 2, and I'm going to cover 2 so you can see. And again, I'm spying these 3 because I just want time to throw the ball. I just need you guys to know that practice mode sheds are just ridiculous. I talk about it every video. I'm still going to talk about it every video, and I'm going to talk about it next video. Just how unrealistic practice mode sheds are, but that's why I spot so many people. I just want you to know. So anyways, it's exactly what it looks like, and you might be saying, well, real, it's Tom Brady, he's going to make that throw, but it doesn't matter who the quarterback is when it's that wide open. But I want to show you why I love this running back little this combination with the running back and the tight end drag. It just does a really good job of getting this open. Now obviously they're not gonna have 3 spies in the game. They probably won't even have 1 spy, but you can tell it's very, very easy to go ahead and set this up, and the streak is going to hold this deep half safety, and that's what creates that void that we like. And if they zone drop that cornerback, then we'll be able to just throw this drag all night. Okay, so again, really love that setup. So I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. Let's see. No, it's not. So man coverage. Okay, so let's talk about man real quick. So if they're talking about just normal man, I'm gonna spy these guys again, because again, I don't want to have to keep running the same setup over and over again. But most likely what you're gonna get is something that looks like this. You may get something that looks like, you know, this, where the user, one of these guys that might use it, or, you know, they might use somebody, you know. So I want to talk about this style of setup. So any style of man coverage where they're zone dropping or they're playing really aggressive. So one thing I like to do is take square, put them on a streak. I'm gonna block both my running backs. So 9 times out of 10 they're gonna blitz when they play man coverage. So we're gonna have a three man route going. Okay, so a couple things you can do. All right, so you can take square, you could still put them on the drag, and if you do that, I like to just take X, put them on a post or a crosser. Doesn't matter which one, post or crosser. Now there's a couple things you could do from here. Okay, now if you want to keep this post route, I like to motion it out, and what happens here is that we have a great spacing route. So it'll be between square to X, and whoever your best receiver is needs to be running this route, and you need them to win out there. Okay, so I love this setup right here. Now if you want to kind of not keep this deep post route, you can take X, you could put them on a I like to put them on a crosser, and then go ahead and motion them across. And then this way, I love this versus the man blitz, because it's going to be just a simple read between circle and X. Square too, but normally you want to read circle and X. Now obviously circle's not going to win versus Jeer, but it's just a good man. It can beat man coverage. You just need to have the right matchup. So normally what I would have done is I would have just put, if I know this is Jeer out here and I don't have a good matchup, I just put him on a slant. Okay, so then it'll be a slant crosser style setup, if that makes sense. So I love that play versus man coverage. Okay, so now last thing I want to talk about is going to be this Texas play. So, and after that, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I was hoping to get 10 minutes, but man, I could never do it. I'll be trying, y'all. I promise I try. But anyway, this Texas route. So I want to give you a man coverage setup and a zone coverage setup. This setup right here is going to work versus every single zone coverage, and it's perfect versus zone blitz. Okay, because I know you guys might be thinking, real, what about zone blitz? This works perfect versus. So what you want to do, you want to take X, you want to put them on a curl, you want to take circle, go ahead and put them on a hitch, and then you want to motion over circle. That is all that you need to do. So let me read baseline and bring them back. And the read progressions here are extremely simple. So circle or R1, that's all you're gonna have to look at. Now I'm not gonna throw it on purpose. We'll go ahead and throw it out right here, but once we go on the replay, you'll understand why I say you want to run this versus your zone blitzes, or standard zone. But really, I love this versus zone blitz, because we're going to be able to have the ability to block 6 people, because we're blocking our running back. So we're going to create a little bit of time for ourselves, and this is great because this route right here, this curl route, because of where it's at on the field, it's going to push back any vertical hooks or any hook zones. Okay, no matter what, unless they zone drop them at 0. And if they zone drop them at 0, put this guy on a streak and then just throw it right away, because that'll be open every single time. And also because this route is ran how it is, it pushes the hook zones and vertical hooks back. So we have 2 routes right here that are pushing zones back, and we have 2 routes right here we have another 2 routes that are just quick hitting routes. So we can throw this ball right now if we want to, and we can throw this ball right now if we want to. So you can kind of tell what's going on and why I say it's perfect versus zone blitz. You just throw it wherever the user is not. That's all you have to do. Okay. Now I'll show you versus cover 2 because you might be wanting to see it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and base the line so our guys can stay where they're supposed to be. Now let's go back to Texas again. That's X on the curl route, circle on the hitch, and you want to motion over that hitch, and that is all that you need to do. Really easy to set up and just really simple read. So look at R1. I can hit them now, I can hit circle now, and I can still hit R1 late, if that makes sense. So that is all you're gonna read, is just between those 2 routes right there. So last thing I want to talk about is gonna be man coverage. So with man coverage, there's a lot of different man coverage setups that you can do, honestly. I love to run post drags and use a lot of man beaters, but with this play Texas, there's a couple things that you could do. So you could take square right here, you could put them on a streak. You could take circle, put them on a slant, and then you're just gonna motion over the slant. So to me, this is one of my favorite man coverage beaters because we're gonna have circle first, then we're gonna read R1, and lastly you're gonna read X because X does a great job of breaking away from man coverage. So look at circle, look at R1, and then I know that's a linebacker on Mike Evans. I know, okay, I know. It's 3-4 out, okay, I know, but the point is it's a man beating route and it's your best wide receiver normally, one of your best, because it's either your best or your second best, obviously, because it's two receiver formation. So anyways, I love this play. Don't mind the middle, it's all congested because I needed time, but normally this angle route's going to beat man coverage every time. It's normally not going to be like that. I've never really seen a play like that, but even worst case scenario, if they somehow play it, even if the user plays it, you're going to make these 2 reads right here between this motioned over slant and then the angle route. And if that's not open, then you want to actually take your chance and actually hit this, because normally it's going to be a DB guarding them, but it's a man beating type of route where they're going to get separation, and you just want to make the look for it. Now last thing I want to give you as far as just things to keep in mind. Now if you're dealing with double Mabel where they're actually zone dropping these guys to guard slant and stuff, and let's say they just have a really solid defensive line, you can't do anything. So what I like to do now, I know I'm spying everybody, okay, because I just don't want to run this play again. I want to get y'all out of here. So we're gonna take square, we're gonna put them on a streak, we're gonna it depends if you're getting blitz. Let me go back. So if you're getting blitz, you can actually take square right here. You could just block him, and I like to keep my angle route by my running back, and all you want to do here is just motion him over. Now I like this because what's going to happen here is that these 2 routes are going to be ran at different depths, and you basically want to just read where the purple is not at, if that makes sense. So right here, look at X and then circle, and then look how deep their routes ran. Now Jeer is just absolutely bagging Chris Godwin. I can't do anything about that, but the point is, what I want you to see is that this route, it can get separation. You just need to, I would have to drift more in this pocket, and I would have to throw this ball more downward right here. So when I threw this ball, notice how my receiver didn't cut inside. That just lets you know that I actually angled this ball a little too far here, and that's because I didn't drift in the pocket. So when you declare a side, it's better to just keep drifting, and you want to set your feet, and then you want to throw this ball right up in here, angle your controller where you can throw it here, because what'll happen if you do it right, he'll actually break downward. That was a terrible example. He'll break down this way, and then you'll get a possession catch right here, because see, he's on his upfield shoulder. So anyways, just kind of giving you guys some knowledge right there. And again, you can tell right here he actually smoked them on this angle route, so it just depends, but you get the idea. So you just want to, it's levels. So really love that setup, but that's gonna wrap it up for this video though. I do hope you guys have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.